So all you'll need for this practice, believe it or not, is your yoga mat and your breath. Simple enough, right? If you do have any additional props, maybe a strap, if you're at home, you can grab your husband's tie, maybe a block or a bolster. You can have those nearby just in case you want to enhance your practice. So we're gonna start today in a comfortable seat. For some people, that's like a cross-leg position. If you have a knee injury, maybe you wanna extend one of your legs. Some days I like to sit in a hero's pose where you just bend your knees and sit back on your heels. It's kind of a nice wake up for your feet and your quads. And then I'd like you to close your eyes. Take that moment to draw your shoulders up by your ears and then back and down. And the hands could be anywhere on the lap or the thighs. And let's have our palms facing up so that we're open to receiving the blessings from today's class. Just observing the breath as we find some stillness, maybe leaning back just a little bit as if there was a wall behind you supporting you. And the crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Sit bones root down into the earth. And this takes consciousness more than effort. So becoming aware. And as you bring your hands into heart center, we're going to establish intention by bowing the chin to the fingertips. So your intention could be something physical, making it through the entire practice, feeling good, opening muscles. It could be a dedication to a loved one. Perhaps there's someone in your life struggling in this moment. You'd like to send them some love. And maybe it's a way you want to feel after you roll out your mat. We've had a new moon this week, so it's a beautiful time to set new intentions so we can manifest the life of our dreams. As you're ready, gently open your eyes, and then let's send the prayer hands all the way up to the heavens above you. Open your arms. Exhale, take them by your side. So we'll sync our breath and our movement. On an inhale, our arms are going to reach all the way up. You can gaze up towards your fingers. The eyes are a muscle too. And then exhale, take them by your side. Go ahead, do it one more time. Inhale, reach up like you mean it. And then exhale, take the arms by your side. Beautiful. Let's start in a child's pose. So you're going to bring your toes together, your knees apart. You can go as wide as your mat. And then sink your hips back towards the heels as you extend your arms forward. So some days I like to make a little pillow for my forehead by stacking the hands. And some days I want it to be more of an active child's pose. You can come up on spider fingers so you actually lift your wrists and forearms off the ground. You're going to feel your armpits hollow out and create length in the side body. So this pose is always available. If you're newer to the practice, you can drop to your knees and take rest. It's etiquette, it's fine. Let's walk the arms over to the right. So the belly folds over the right thigh. And then with your hands, keep pushing that left sits bone towards your heel. And that way you really lengthen through the side waist. If you want more, you can bring your right hand by your shin bone and push it into the ground. Get a little more stretch in the left side body. And then slowly come back to the center and just take it over to the left. Your belly folds over the thigh. Maybe your right ear rests on the bicep. If you want more, left hand to that shin, push into the ground while the right sits bone pushes down into the heel. Good, back to center. Now let's find our tabletop position, coming onto all fours. Take a peek between your knees and make sure you don't see your toes. So sometimes that requires a little bit of movement just so that your toes, ankles, shins, everything's in line. We're going to start with our cat-cow. So tucking the toes, arch the spine, open up, look up, think about lifting the tailbone, and then exhale, put the tops of your feet down, round your upper back, look towards your belly button as you push the mat forward and away. Couple more. Inhale, arch, open. Think of a cow in this pose. Exhale, round. Puff up your upper back. We've got fall around the corner. Here's our Halloween back. And then one more time. Inhale, arch, open, finding space. Exhale, round and hunch. Pull everything up and in. Go ahead and find your neutral. Let's stretch out our wrists a little bit. So you can turn your right palm to face up. If you want a little more, you can shift forward. Think about turning the eye of your elbow crease forward. So the hand stays the same, but the elbow crease eye turns forward. You see that? And then switch it up. Take that left hand. Again, eye of the elbow crease forward if you can, and just play with weight distribution. If you lean forward or come back. Yeah. Beautiful. And then let's stretch out our toesies. So you're going to tuck all 10 toes. Go ahead, sit back on your heels. So for some people, this is like already intense, right? Others, maybe you walk your hands onto the lap or lean back a little bit. You can even add a 2-for-1 special. Reach your right arm up, take your mid-upper back, and then with your left hand, see if your fingers can collapse. Just distracting you a little bit from the feet before we begin, right? And then switch it up and turning for all sides. So if your upper back is hard to reach, take your right hand on the elbow and then like push it down. You'll get an extra inch. And then right hand reaches up. Maybe you can find your fingers. Keep drawing your elbows into the center. Lean back, final breath. And then release all that jazz. Hands come down, tap out your feet. Nice work. We're gonna find our first down dog. So you're gonna spread your fingers nice and wide. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, push your chest back towards the thighs, turbo dog. Shake your head, yes. Thank you, Mind Body Social. Thank you, Baptist South Health, for this opportunity. Shake your head, no, I'm not gonna let any distractions take away from this practice. And then straighten that right leg. Feel the stretch through the calf, the Achilles tendon, up to that hamstring. And then bend the right knee, do the same to the left. Taking it back and forth, just awaken here. Relax your jaw. Maybe come high up on all 10 toes, lift your heels. Dial them to the right, keep pushing the mat forward, look under your left arm. Again, high lifted heels, take them left, look under your right arm. How much space can you create? Final one in the center, high lifted heels, and then root them down for your first official dog. So just reviewing here, fingers are spread. The thumb and pointer finger resemble an L shape. Biceps frame the ears. Chest pulls back towards the thighs. And then the heels root down towards the earth. Pushing back with the shin bones, finding length. And then you're going to look to the top of your yoga mat and walk your feet to your hands. Do it nice and slow. You can do your baby steps. The knees can be soft. Feet or hips width distance apart. Maybe you take a quick measurement, 2 fists between the big toes. Maybe you want to enhance the stretch. Grab opposite elbows. Make a little picture frame around your head. And then transfer more weight into the balls of your feet. Sway a little side to side. Beautiful. Releasing the elbows. Let the arms just dangle here. We're going to root to rise. So push down into your feet, one vertebra at a time. We're going to unfurl all the way to standing. Something's happening here. Beautiful. Bring your big toes together to touch, finding mountain pose. We're at the top of our yoga mat. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up. Look up towards your hands. As you exhale, forward fold, bringing your fingers all the way down. You can bring them onto your shins as well. As you inhale, create that flat back. So the crown of the head reaches forward, shoulders go back, and the tailbone roots back. And then exhale, fold in. We're going to step back, hold plank, upper push-up position. So it's a strong pose. If you need to modify, you simply drop to your knees. Think about the heels being over the balls of your feet. So sometimes we have to pull that low belly, the pit of the belly up and in, and then take the shoulders on the back of your body. Good. One more breath. You've got it. And then lower all the way to the belly. So chaturanga, elbows stay narrow. Release the pelvic floor. Release the tops of your feet. Hands are in line with the chest, cobra pose. So think about pushing into the tops of your feet. Lift your chest, look up. And then exhale, take it down. Second one, walk your fingers wider than your mat and take spidey hands. As you inhale, see if you can find a little more extension in the spine. So really lift up, soften the glutes. And then exhale, release. So final one is going to be your upward facing dog. It's not for everyone. So you can repeat your cobra, your wide cobra, or Try extending the arms to straightness, lifting the thighs. Pull the shoulder heads back, look up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So if you haven't already started to incorporate that Ujjayi breath, in and out through the nose, creating that victorious, that tapas in heat. Take one more inhale, empty it out, and then look to the top of your mat. And you could either take the baby steps, you could lunge, or you could lightly jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold it in. Reverse swan dive. So arms reach out and up. We come up with a flat back rise. Exhale, take the arms by your side. Let's lace our hands behind our back. If your hamstrings are tight, I recommend opening the feet hips distance apart. If you have open hamstrings, fine to keep the toes together. As you inhale, lift through the heart. As you exhale, hinge forward. So the crown of the head lowers down as the arms reach overhead. If you want more, think about lifting the sitting bones to fully straighten the legs and then shift the body weight forward. So it's in all 10 toes. Breathe. Relax the jaw. Feel the stretch. And then keep the arms bound, so with a flat back, you engage the quads as you rise. Release the arms by your side. If your big toes are not together, go ahead and bring them together. On an inhale, reach your arms up. Turn the 10 fingers towards me. And then with your right hand, grab the left wrist. Chin and pointer, mudra, come together. And then take a side stretch. So the thumb and the pointer connect. And then the right hand kind of pulls that wrist. Get a nice side stretch. Maybe gaze under that left arm. I see you. Good morning, Jan. Hello, Lori. Right hand could also come down to the right thigh. If you push into the leg, see if the hips can go even more to the left. Really awakening that side wave. And then inhale, take it back to center. Turn your hands towards me. Left hand grabs right wrist, chin mudra, thumb and pointer connect. Go ahead, take your side stretch now to the left. Take a peek under that right arm. So this might be good if you keep pulling that arm over to the left, or drop left hand to the thigh. Push into the leg. See if you get a little more side body bend. And then inhale, everything returns. Exhale, arms by your side. Chair pose, we're going to sink our hips down. The fingers reach towards the ground, and then arms are going to reach up. So the first one, we create some heat. Make sure you see all of your toes. See if you can sink a little lower, but tuck that pelvic floor up and in so we engage our bandhas. Arms reach up, gaze up towards your fingers, final breath, and then exhale, fold, release, relax. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, root your hands. So you could jump or step your feet back for plank. Now it's up to you. You can go halfway or all the way down. Inhale, find back bend of choice. Exhale, down dog. All right, we starting to get warm? I know. Right leg is going to reach up to the sky. Open, bend, and stretch. Take the heel to the glute. Root your left heel down. Look under your right arm. How much space can you find today? Look under your left arm. Now extend the right leg back, square off your hip. So the toes point down. You kind of lower that leg. Look forward. Right foot's going to step to the right thumb. Low crescent lunge. So release the back knee down. This is going to awaken the psoas here. You can bring your hands to your thighs. You peel the torso up. If you're ready for a little more, reach your arms up. Maybe lace the hands behind you. Knuckles are going to run down that left leg and then open your chest. You can even take back bend if it's okay on the neck. Beautiful. Hands come inside that right foot. Heel toe the right foot to the edge of your mat. So we're going to come into a lizard lunge. You could stay on your hands or you could drop to your forearms. You could enhance by tucking left toes, lifting left knee, or you can modify by using a block, right? So you do you. We're not in competition with anybody besides ourselves. You can even bring your right hand to the right thigh and look over the right shoulder. So good. And then let's rewind into half a split. So you might want to heel toe the right foot 1 or 2 times. Extend that right leg to straightness. Flex the 5 toes. If you want a little stretch, just bend your elbows. You're going to ignite that hamstring. If you want more, you can take full split if you're ready. And come back to thunderbolt if it's okay in the knees. Hinging forward, maybe cross at the wrist, and then pull yourself through. As long as the right hamstring's getting the stretch, I'm good with where you are. Okay, let's re-engage the lunge. Hands frame the right foot, left knee lifts, step your right foot back. A lot of core work. And then vinyasa, so halfway or all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra, roll the ankle bones in. And then exhale, down dog. Left leg rises, open, bend, and stretch. Let it feel yummy. Right heel roots down. Look under the left arm. Look under the right arm. Extend left leg straight, square the hips off, so left toes point down. Look forward where you want to go, and then step your left foot to your left thumb. Release your right knee down to the mat, flip the top of the foot down. Again, some days you might want to just chill with the hands pressing against the thigh. I'm getting this nice opening in the psoas. Some days you want more, you reach up. You can lace your hands behind your back. Just go the unusual way. So there's a natural way and then the weird way. Do the weird way. Knuckles run down that right leg. Open the chest. Adding back bend if you want to open that 5th chakra. Throat. Speaking your truth. Yeah. And then release hands inside left foot. Heel toe the left foot to the edge of your mat. So again, yogi's choice. If you want more, you tuck the right toes. Lift that right knee. You can come down to forearms. Try not to round your back, rather lead with the 4th, the heart chakra. Heart leads the way. And then no matter if you're on your forearms or hands, you could add in a twist, left hand to the thigh, just looking over that left shoulder. And then release, heel toe the left foot in 1 or 2 times, half Hanuman, half split. So again, you'll feel the stretch simply by bending the elbows to the side. We flex the left toes, engage this hamstring, hug the quadricep on the bone. If you want full split, go for it. If you like your thunderbolt, sit back. Maybe crossing at the wrist, pull in. Just giving some love and nurturing to our left hamstring. When you're ready, re-engage the lunge. Hands frame left foot, right toe tucks, right knee lifts, step back, and vinyasa. Inhale, upward face. Exhale, downward face. Okay, ready for our first warrior. Right leg rises. We're going to step the right foot to the right hand. The left foot pivots flat at 45 degrees, so the toes point to the front corner of your mat. Right knees over right ankle. On an inhale, reach your arms up. First one, we hold 5 breaths. Why? Because we tell the muscles what's up. Don't let warrior fool you. It's a strong pose. The right hip draws back. The left one comes forward. If you had headlights on them, they would be shining towards the front. And then we lengthen through the side waistline. Open your hands like rays of the sun. Take your final inhale and then light up your mat. Hands frame the right foot. We step back and lower. Inhale, upward face. Exhale, take it back. Left leg rises, warrior 1, left side. Left foot to the left hand, right foot flat, toes point to the front corner. On an inhale, we rise, left knee over left ankle. Remember, this right hip draws forward, so the headlights shine forward. They're square-ish, okay? It doesn't need to be perfect. We all have different alignment, different bone structure. We lengthen through the side body. We open the whole hand. Last inhale, and then exhale, hands frame the left foot. We step back, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, take it back. Woo! 5 breaths here. Remember your child's pose. I'm working you a little bit in the warm-up, but it's only for your highest good. Feeling strong and capable. And just do the best you can with what you got. All right, big toes together, look forward. You could jump, step, or walk your feet lightly to your hands. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, fold in, chair pose, one breath, inhale, and then come to stand, release your arms. Good, heel toe the feet, hip width distance apart, and then hinge forward with your peace sign fingers, your pointer and middle. You're gonna inhale to lengthen and then exhale, fold, a little more hamstring work. You can bend your elbows to the sides of the room as the crown of the head comes down. Again, we lift the sitting bones up. Good, just one more breath. Releasing the hands to your hips, and with a flat back, let's rise. All right, before we come into Warrior Two, I like to open up into our squat so our toes can go as wide as the mat. And we're gonna drop it down. You can bring your hands to heart center. So our squats are gonna look different. Some of our heels are up. Some of us can really hunker down, getting the armpits in front, right? Think about thumbs pushing into your sternum nice and upright. For those that want a little more, right hand inside of your right leg. And the left arm reaches up. If you want to add in your bind, turn the left hand away, bend the elbow. And then with your right arm, wrap it around the shin. Maybe you can find your fingers. You can find the wrists. And then pull the left shoulder back. Good. Let's try the other side. Left arm down, right arm up. So it's like a kickstand, and we extend in opposite directions. You can look up towards that right hand. You can turn it back, bend the elbow, take it around. If you want the full bind, left arm wraps around the shin. But don't collapse. Keep pulling the right shoulder back and look up. Yeah. Release. From here, bring your hands forward. I'd like you to bring your toes together, but leave your knees wide. We're going to practice our crow pose. So think of a chaturanga arm, and you're going to shift your body weight forward. Think about knees hugging that tricep. For those that have never flown before, you can use your block. Bring your toes onto the block. And then if you lean your body weight forward, look up. You can lift one foot, or maybe both feet. Kiss your toes together. Lots of core. One more breath. Yeah, and then you could either shoot it back. We can either meet in down dog, or you can work through the vinyasa if you're feeling a little bit tired. Take exactly what you need. All right, first Warrior Two. Our right leg's gonna rise. You're gonna step your right foot between your hands. It's a heel to arch alignment. So if you drew a line from your right heel, it should line up with the left arch. Left arm picks you up, arms open out like wings. And then look over your right middle finger. If you're leaning forward, think about the left wrist lining up over the left ankle. So the spine is nice and vertical. Energy shooting out in all directions. That right knee turns towards the second or third toe, so it's external rotation. And then reverse, right palm up. Left arm down the back leg. Right arm reaches up. All the while, the right knee still tracks forward. There you go. You could take a half bind, left arm behind your back, reach for your right hip. How's the breathing? Smooth it out. Into Warrior Two. Into side angle. Right forearm on your right thigh and the left arm reaches up. You could streamline, taking bicep over ear. And then you can even release your right hand to the ground, maybe inside that right leg. If you want to bind it here, left behind the back, right arm comes under, peel the left shoulder back. Slowly release back to Warrior Two. Straighten your front leg, it should be a good moment. Now bring your back foot in one time, preparing for triangle pose. So the hips go back as the arms reach forward. Once you've got all your extension, the right hand could lower to a shin, a block. Some people like to bind the big toe. And then we stack the left shoulder above. Again, you could streamline bicep over ear. If you want even more oblique work, extend your right arm forward like you're holding a ball between your hands. Okay, into half moon. Left hand on your left hip, look forward. Start to bend your right knee and bring your right hand to the ground, maybe 6 to 8 inches to the side. Transfer the weight into your right leg. Lift your left leg. Stay here, or start to turn the torso to the left. Reach your left arm up to the sky. You could stay here, or you can take Chapasana, bending the left heel to the glute with this left hand. See if you can find that foot or ankle. Lots of shoulder openers to get here. And just breathe. If you're against a wall, use it for support. When you're ready to release, come back to Warrior Two. So bend the right knee, let the left arm pick you up, and then straighten your legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn the right foot in so we're in a wide leg stance. The edges of your feet in line with the edges of the mat. Pararita, just hinge from your hips. Release your hands. We'll take a wide leg down dog. You're gonna walk your hands forward, melt your heart through, and recover. Take this down moment after all that effort. It's how we find the balance. You can't effort through everything and you can't surrender through everything, so we find the middle. And then walk your hands so they're back in line under the shoulders. Keep your right hand on the earth. Bring your left hand to the hip. Start to turn open. You can come to spider fingers if it's hard to keep a flat palm. And you can also extend your left arm up. Nice open twist. And then release, switching hands, left down, right hand to the right hip. Again, if you just turn the torso, you get the twist, right? The crown is forward, tail is back. If you want more, you reach your right arm up, stack. Maybe gaze up towards that right hand. Take what you need. And then slowly release. Bring your hands onto your hips, and with a flat back, we come up. Warrior Two, left side. So you're going to pivot your left toes. Bend deeply into that left knee. Again, it's a heel to arch alignment. Once we have that, we open our arms. Again, right wrist over that ankle. Gaze is out towards the left middle finger. Vertical, spine, torso, and then the left knee tracks towards the second or third toe. So I know I repeat some of these cues, but if we make these little adjustments, our practice is enhanced. We breathe, we find our center, and then reverse. Left palm up, right arm down the back leg. Take the bicep over the ear. It's one of my favorite poses. It's so beautiful. You could half bind it, right arm behind your back, reach for left hip. Keep encouraging that front knee to bend for you. And then legs stay the same. Transition Warrior Two, side angle. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm reaches up. Stay here or extend bicep over ear. Stay here or release left hand to the ground. So there's different styles of practice, half or full bind available. So in Ashtanga, you bring your hand behind you, but I like bringing it forward because then it helps me find my bind. So it's not an absolute in yoga. It's what works for you. Pull the right shoulder back if you're in your bind. And then just slowly come back to Warrior Two. I know those legs are cooking. Straighten the left leg, say ah. And then bring your back foot in one time. So it's a slightly shorter stance for Trikonasana. We lengthen and reach the arms forward. Once you've got it, left hand could lower. You can bring your block here, right, as the right arm reaches up. You can bind the big toe. You could take bicep over ear. You could extend left arm forward for 3, for 2, and 1. Release. Let the right arm pick you back up, half moon. So your right hand comes to right hip. Again, if you've got your block, maybe you put it to the outside of the left foot, and you can root your hand there. Bring the floor up to you as you transfer the weight into the left leg and reach the right one back. You could stack, and then once you get confident, you could even float your left hand off your mat. You could take Chapasana, bend the right heel to the glutes, reach back, and then with as much grace as possible, let your right foot come down, find Warrior Two, and straighten that front leg. Nice work. Hands on your hips. Pivot the left foot in, and then melt. So this time I'm going to give Yogi's Choice. One of my favorites is to turn the fingers back and start to walk my hands through to lower the crown of the head down. If the crown comes down easily, you shorten your stance. If you feel like it's really far away, try to widen the stance. Think about lifting the inner arches of your feet. Some people like to reach for the feet, the outside edges. I'm also going to give you an option to invert. So if you like to get upside down, it's a tripod headstand. You bend your elbows, bring your head forward, and then you can come up onto your tippy toes, maybe floating your legs above. So it's a lot about bone alignment here. And then as you're ready to release, you can open back to straddle. Let your feet gently touch down. Hands onto your hips. And with a flat back, let's come to stand. Nice. Turn your front toes to face forward. Soften your knee and step your back foot up to meet it. Just take a breather in mountain pose. Even bring your hands to heart center. Know that you're alive. Take a gratitude moment. And then from here, we're going to take chair pose. So open the eyes, sink the hips back. Let's bring our hands into heart center. Bring your pinkies down towards your knees so the spine gets long. And then hook your left elbow outside your right thigh. Equally press into the palms as the thumbs stay at the heart. If your left knee is pushing forward, see if you can draw the hip back. You could stay here or you could exalt. You could stay here or you could do your side crow, bringing both hands to the right. You think about hooking your right elbow and your right outer hip together and then transfer the weight into your hands, maybe lifting your feet off your yoga mat. It's a cute little side crow. And then return back, fold forward. This time you could whole hand under the feet where the toes come up to the wrists and just hanging here, maybe lifting the sitting bones, maybe bending the elbows to the side. Just recover. Hit the pause button. That was hard. And then scoot your toes back together. Chair pose, other side. So the hands come to heart center. I like pinkies towards the knees because it creates the long spine, which is going to give you more success as you twist. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Press your hands in equally. Keep them at heart center. Scooch the right hip back. You can exalt. You could stay traditional or you could fly. Hands come to the left. So the twist has to occur in order for you to take your chaturanga arm. Leaning forward. Lifting one or both feet. And then we all return to center, fold forward. This time just ragdoll. Shake your head, yes, I'm okay. Let the shoulders be soft. And we're gonna round up. So root into your feet, ragdoll. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. All right, feeling good. Working on balance next. So let's root all our weight into our left standing leg. We'll take tree pose. You're going to bring your right foot either like a kickstand directly onto the earth. Heel can rest on the shin. You can bring it to the calf, just always above or below the knee. So the foot can come into the inner thigh, maybe hands at heart center. Maybe you open the branches today. You could take your chin mudra. If this is easy for you, you can either challenge your balance by looking up, or you can completely shut your eyes, eliminating sight. Little wobbly, could be a windy day, right? And then hug this knee into your chest now. Lace your hands just below it. We're going to take a version of dancing Shiva. So your right arm will reach up, and then take the right arm back behind you. Again, if you've got a wall nearby, use it for support. You could stay here or you could straighten the right leg, maybe looking back behind you to the right hand. You can have your hand reach for the outside of your foot. You can keep the knee bent, whatever works for you. And then slowly come back. Extend your right leg, hands on your hips for 3. Lift higher for 2. And 1, release. Oh my goodness, we're okay. So take a breather, shift your body weight, and we'll do the same thing on the left side. So the right leg has to root into the earth like a trunk of a tree. Left foot can come below the knee, above the knee. Some of you are working on your half lotus. Bring the heel in front of the hip, hands at heart center. You could reach your arms up, open branches, look up, close the eyes. Practice is always evolving. Every time we roll out our mat, it's a brand new experience. Hands come to heart center. Bend the knee into the midline. You can lace the fingers. Maybe rotate that ankle. So this is hard as it is. We're balancing on one leg, people. Dancing Shiva variation. Left arm reaches up. Take it behind you. You could extend your right leg forward. You could reach for the outer edge of the foot or anywhere to the outside of the leg. Look over your left shoulder at your left hand. And breathe. When you're ready, come back. Extend your left leg forward, hands to your hips for 3. Lift higher, 2 and 1. Lower. Good work. Bring your toes together. We're going to vinyasa. It should feel good. Clean the slate. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, heaven to earth. Fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, root your hands, jump, step, walk back. Your choice, maiden dog or vinyasa. Back bend. Take it into dog. Notice that this dog feels significantly different than the first, yeah? It's like we're home. It's familiar. It feels good. Okay, side plank variation. Root your right hand to the center of the mat. Modify by dropping your right knee. Or keep your left foot in front of the right as you reach your left arm up. Stacking the feet, maybe bicep over ear, maybe tree pose, sole of the left foot inside the thigh. We were just here. There's muscle memory. Last breath. Look down, hand down, right into second side. Left hand under left shoulder. Remember, you can drop your left knee, you can bring your right foot forward or stack. Lift the hips, reach your right arm up. Maybe bicep over ear. Maybe tree pose variation. You can do it. Look down, hand down, lower to your belly. Take your left ear cheek to the mat so you look right. Let your arms come by your side. Just let everything go. Feeling your heart rate into Mother Earth. Calm your central nervous system down. And let's come to our Sphinx pose. So your forearms root into the ground. Your elbows are under your shoulders. Peel your chest open. If you want a little more, bend your knees, bring your toes together. See how that is. If you want a lot more, keep your legs onto the earth, but push into your hands to straighten your arms. You can even walk your hands in like a seal, so your thumbs face forward and your 4 fingers span to the side. Let the weight of your head go. We're staying for 3 breaths. I'm good with a semicircle. If you want to take right ear to right shoulder and left ear to left a couple times, it's nice. And then slowly release, toes together, heels out, look left, right ear comes down. So coming into a nice shoulder opener, we're going to open our arms like a letter T. The palms will stay facing down. Your left shoulder, elbow, and wrist stay in the same plane as your right hand comes over the right shoulder. And then roll yourself onto the left side of your body. Bend your top knee. Right foot hops behind the left, so your knee is bent. If you want more, you can try bending both knees, so it's like a bridge pose. You can also take your right hand behind your lower back. The stretch is being felt in the left shoulder. Feminine energy, the nurturing side to us. So think about filling your cup up so that it runneth over. That way you can be there for everybody else who depends on you. Right hand comes down, left leg goes straight, right leg goes straight. Take it onto the belly. Turn your head to the side, both arms come in. And then again, open your arms out. So see how the shoulder, elbow, and wrist are on the same plane? So sometimes you have to kind of move that arm. Turn onto the right side body, left hand, left shoulder. Left knee bends, hop the fence, left foot comes behind. Stay or bend both knees. Stay or release left hand to the low back. Work in our masculine side. the provider, hunter, one who takes care, strong. Not that we want to be too efficient or deficient in either, rather finding equilibrium. To release, left hand under shoulder, right leg straight, left ear to the mat, close it off, it should feel good. And then from here, bring your hands underneath your chest. You're going to peel onto all fours, tabletop position. We're going to take our shoelace pose. So your right knee can tuck behind your left. You're going to open your feet. If you've got your props nearby, you might want to sit back on it, bringing the ground up. Otherwise, if you're able to, you can sit in between your feet. Just make sure the knees stay stacked. You can try with the heels in close. You could also try to bring the shins more parallel. Some of you will enjoy hinging forward to ignite the stretch. Some of you are like, no way. And then if you want, this right hand could cross over to the left, and then the left one could cross over to the right, folding in just a little deeper. So the front body is twisted, compressing, bringing all the organs forward, and the back body just receives this beautiful oxygen. So it lights up every cell of your body, not just in the front and the back, but the sides. 3-dimensional. And just to note, this pose can also be done on your back. I have some students that prefer to hug the knees in. It would be left over right. And then that way you're in control. If you draw your heels in or out. And the folding variation where you're seating, right, it's gravity. So it's a little more surrender required. To release, you'll come up. You can lean back, unravel your legs. Windshield wiper right and left. The next time they fall to the right, keep them there. And then you can pick up the right foot, place it just above the left knee. If you lean back a little bit, it's a nice stretch on the IT band. And then slowly come up and come back into tabletop so we can set up for side 2. This time it's left knee behind right. Again, you can find your bottom. You can use a prop. The main thing here is that the knees are stacked. This side, maybe it feels better, heels in close. Maybe you like shins open. Maybe you start to hinge forward and that's good enough. Or left arm crosses over to the right and then the right arm crosses over to the left. And we fold. Surrender. Everything we've done up into this particular stretch has been active. A lot of yang energy. So to balance that, we find the yin, the letting go. Typically the thoughts will start to enter and envisioning them as logs floating in a river where you can just be the observer. This is known as non-attachment. Of course, if you prefer this on your back, please take that variation. And know that anything you're feeling is temporary, good or bad. These poses can get intense, but they should never be painful. And really, you're the only one that knows the difference. So honor your boundaries. When you're ready to release, come back up. Bring the hands behind you, unravel the legs. Windshield wiper right and left and right. The next time they fall to the left, keep them there. Again, if you want more, the left edge of the foot, the knife edge, could come on that right thigh. If you lean back just a little bit, it's kind of sweet. And then slowly come up. Let's extend the legs forward for our staff pose, Dandasana. You might want to move any flesh from the sits bones back and behind you. The hands root under the shoulders. You flex your legs so much that your heels may elevate. Nice long spine. And then reach the arms up and fold. If you've got your strap nearby, you can bring it around the balls of your feet. Pull in. Otherwise, maybe the hands reach for the ankles or the feet. I'm just kind of closing up the shop, getting into that juicy stretch. There are some days I like to point my toes, and if you bring your fingers above, you'll get a nice stretch, shoot up the shin. And then slowly come up right. Let's bend the right knee, bring the sole of the foot inside the thigh, so it looks like tree pose, right? Inhale, arms reach, hinge forward, Janu Shusasana. Again, you can cross up the wrist to pull in. Left hamstring getting some love, right hip and the low back. Good. Slowly come up. Go ahead and bring the right foot onto the earth and then hop the fence. So your right foot comes over to the left. You can take your spinal twist, bringing your right hand back. You can also bend your bottom leg and maybe bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, getting a little deeper in your spinal twist. And then counter it off, bring the hands to the left. Some days I like to just push in the hands, root the right sits bone. Sometimes I like the right sitting bone to lift and come to the forearms. And then come up, extend the left leg, extend the right leg, bend the left knee. So the left foot comes inside, creating that tree pose. Inhale, take the arms up and hinge. Again, you could reach for your foot. You could use your strap. You could cross your wrist, bend in. Right hammy, left hip, low back. And then slowly come up, left foot onto the earth, spinal twist. So if the left arm comes behind you, you can keep hugging onto the knee with your right arm. You can also hop the fence, bring your right heel in towards the glute and your right elbow to the outside. You keep rooting the toes down a little bit deeper here. It might be too extreme, so do you. And then there's a bind, right? You can always bring your right arm through and your left arm around. Super deep. And then counter it off, both hands to the right. Again, you can push down, root the left sit bone, or let it lift and come down. Coming up, Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Draw the heels in. So the knife edges of the feet kiss as the inner arch is open. Lift the sternum, hinge forward. You can use your elbows against the shins and then lengthen. Once you get the length, I'm okay with you tucking that chin in and rounding. Time flies when you're having fun. We'll have to slowly unravel, draw the knees in. Go ahead, extend your legs forward. If you'd like the support of your arms to transition, if you want that last little bit of core work, you can extend the arms forward so that the low back, the mid back, which is like the vortex, upper back, all come down. Take a glimpse of Shavasana. We're like 3 poses away. So we need to do our back bending so that we counteract all the forward folds. Level 1, we're going to do bridge. You stop where it feels right, heels in line with the sits bone. Lift your hips. You could lace your fingers. You could work on lifting the heels. My full wheel people, bringing your elbows bent, hands in line with the ears, coming to the crown of the head, pushing into the hands for upward facing bow, Dhanurasana. If you want to bring that left knee into the belly, you can extend that up. If you're in your bridge, you can practice 2, letting one leg come up, try the right. To come down, always tuck your chin, safely transition. Hug the knees into the belly. You can do your happy baby pose, reaching for the outside edges of the feet or your heels. The knees come down towards the armpits. The spine is long, so the tailbone roots, the chin slightly tucks. And then extend the legs up for your legs up the wall pose. You can relax your arms by your side. So you'll get all the benefits of your inversion here, where the drainage just comes down from the feet to the hip. If you have shoulder stand in your practice, supporting your low back, you could extend your legs up, pointing the feet, but then flexing the toes. Barbie and Ken feet, right? And then you could play here with your Baddha Konasana, your straddle, maybe plow pose, bringing the feet overhead, ear pressure, hugging the knees in. And then I'm going to show you 2 ways to exit. First way is traditional, using the arms as brake pads, meeting and legs up the wall. Second way, a little more risky, bend your knees and see if you could lower your feet onto the mat for bridge. You could do one leg at a time if you're a little scared, but once they touch down, you're like, cool, I got it. And then slowly release. We'll counter it off with fish pose. So extend your legs, come up onto your forearms, point your toes. So your legs glue together. If you feel like the crown of your head's really far from your mat, try walking your elbows forward and then see if you can find the crowned head. You could stay here or make a fin for your fish. You could even lift your toes. A little more core work on those transverse abdominals. A lion's breath in through the nose. Stick out your tongue. Ah! And then release. Tuck your chin. Release the forearms and lower. Hug both knees in one final time. Just rock side to side. And then bring the soles of the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. You could bring the left hand on your heart and the right hand on your belly and just notice how you feel. Starting to let go of that breath control as we find more rest. You could take a goddess arm like goalpost. You got football season around the corner. Or my personal favorite is butterfly, fingers gently touching overhead. So it creates an infinity shape. Letting the eyes roll back into the socket, soften the cheekbones, the jaw. Part your lips, separate your teeth, relaxing the tongue. Letting our body be this vessel. We let down the armor, the veil. Being exposed, but also knowing that that's how we're the most receptive. Envisioning a blue and purple light for safety. Let the bones be heavy into the ground. Let the muscles relax. You've worked really hard. So there's some days I like to stay here for entire relaxation. But if you're ready, the right arm will fall about 6 to 8 inches away from the body, and then the left arm mirrors that. The right leg extends, go off your mat, take up a little real estate, and then the left leg the same. Final conscious inhale, and then open your mouth, exhale, letting everything go. Here I want you to absorb the physical, mental, and energetic benefits and gifts that this practice has given you. For some of you, this will be the hardest part, staying still. And for some of you, this is the highlight of your day. Maybe it's in these few moments of stillness that you can be whole and at peace. Take a mental screenshot of this moment and you revisit it when you need to, because you've earned it. This is you and your best self, your highest self. We just forget to get quiet enough to know. the chimes slowly help you reawaken. Turn the head side to side. Bring a little movement to the extremities, the fingers and the toes. Deepen the breath. Maybe blink the eyes open. Acknowledge in a world that is constantly moving around you, you can find this stillness. And then take the knees into the belly. Embrace yourself. Maybe grab opposite elbows around the shins. Extending right arm as a pillow. Come into fetal, signifying fresh beginning. We go from corpse to fetal. And then come up to seated, any comfortable seat. Keeping your eyes soft or closed so that you maintain this feeling that you've created. As you bring your hands to heart center, bow your chin to your fingertips and reflect back onto the intention that was set 58 minutes ago. And with confidence, know that whenever you lead with an open heart and a grateful heart, the universe will have your back. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.